Hey everyone, Sean here, and today in this video I wanted to sit down and talk about the year of 2023. We're pretty much coming to a close and another year in the books, right? Soon enough. I am recording this right before New Year's Eve and stuff like that, the 28th if you want to know the specifics, I guess. But I just came back from work and had some dinner, and then I thought, let's sit down and talk about this year, at least to an extent. More for personally for me, but we can talk about what happened throughout the world and gaming and all that fun stuff. So it's just gonna be me rambling about stuff. So if you wanna stick around, thank you very much. If you want to talk about 2023 yourselves, you're more than welcome to in the comment section below as we go along here. Some, all that fun stuff. Anyways, yes, so it is that time of the year, and this year was quite something. Definitely like nothing like 2020 where the pandemic happened, and not to mention uh, my father passing away and stuff like that. But right at the end of the year too, and it's kind of crazy that essentially we're coming up on 3 years since the passing of my dad. And you know I've had moments where it's still hard to believe. I guess that makes, I guess that's one way to put it, hard to believe that he's not around. I just had I have those feelings randomly at times, and I'm sure people in similar circumstances can feel that way too. Especially when it was so sudden. It was, it just came very fast, and you literally just couldn't see them, for one last time. And more in a couple other specific circumstances and such, but you know, it is something for sure. Um, and it is at times hard to deal with, but life goes on, and I have been able to move forward with that for the most part. But it's just sometimes I just think about it, and it does hit me for a moment. But have to keep reminding myself, there's always tomorrow and something to look forward to and all that such. And um, I just got to cherish what I have. I still have my mom, I still have my sister, and of course my uncle and cousins and stuff like that, and my friends, my homies, you know, the guys, right? The boys, one could put it that way, and then everyone else right around me. Um, Not to mention, uh, if we're gonna start off with this solemn ass note, but one of my close friends also lost their dad. His dad passed away um, some time ago via cancer, and there was pretty much not much they could do about it, unfortunately. And it's tough, man. Um, it's we're I guess we're at that point where, in my generation anyway, um, stuff like that is going to be more common, man, and it's just going to climb up slowly from there. And it's tough, and um, I'm definitely in that same boat with many other people who have lost their loved ones over this early part of the decade, and uh, it's you know something. Despite how do I put this? Despite having to hurt so much, it does make us better. I would say, you know, I'm sure my dad would love to tell me keep moving forward, keep going, to be happy, and you know, um, remember those around you. Still, we, you know, it's okay to feel sad and be depressed for the time being, but eventually life goes on, and so must we. So that's just kind of like my 2 cents or message for anyone else who has had that happen to them. Um, so again, while it is probably the worst thing that could happen, right? It's the worst thing that happens to people, just losing loved ones. It is a way for us to be stronger. And we have to learn to eventually get on our 2 feet and keep on marching. So, but speaking of family, as I mentioned about my uncle, my cousins, I visited them on both Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it was nice to see them again. Of course, always fun to see my cousins, see how they're doing. My young my youngest cousin is full of energy, has some stuff happen, but still is able to keep marching forward, you know. Um, and it's just I don't know, it's just nice. We had a good dinner. My uncle can make both a really good turkey and a really good prime rib roast. It was really good. I just last night finished off the leftovers that we brought home or brought from the dinner and stuff like that to our home. It was quite a bit of food. um, it's just great, you know. It is important to see family, though sometimes it is hard, depending on the case by case and situations such like that. You know, sometimes you do want to be alone and have some time for yourself, and that's okay. Don't be ashamed. But there is a balance to everything, and so um, it is good and important to at least once in a while go visit your family members. So I'm trying to do my best as much as possible to keep doing that, and and cherish it as best I can. Now, let's talk about more uplifting stuff, shall we? For this bit. Well, I would say it starts on the low, and then it goes slowly higher. But um, when it comes to me, this year I was let go from Amazon pretty much. So, long story short, it's one of those like flex schedule jobs. So you pick your shifts whenever you want to, depending on what's available. You know, it is nice for freelance people like me, right, who still does freelance work on the side. And it was perfect for almost 5 years. But then there were times where it was hard to get the shifts you usually get, right? Your preferable shifts, and then you gotta, you know, go out your way to work around this schedule, and then it just kind of just starts to get deeper and deeper on the bad end, and that's where you have to kind of like make sacrifices and take points, which is like I forget how it works on the license, driver's license, but I'm pretty sure you don't want points on it. So have a clean record, so to say. Kind of same, pretty much same thing here. I'm sure other places do this, have a similar system. But yeah, um, I didn't even hit the max, and yet by the time, let's just say, June hit around, right at the end of June, I was told I was let go. But I was officially let go from like May or April, which is really weird because I never seen my points go to the max. I keep track on my phone with the in-house app, or whatever you call it, right? And the dedicated app for the job. And I've been with Amazon for 5 years as someone who worked in Prime Now slash Amazon Fresh. I would say I can say with confidence that I was a hard worker and I did my best to do my job, and yeah, made mistakes, you know, throughout my career, I guess. Like any no any normal worker, and I learned from them, of course, and I got better over time. And yet, when I tried to apply for like a manager permission position, nothing. Um, I didn't get anything from that in that regard. I didn't get any like transfer to like a different job, or like putting my foot at the door for other Amazon jobs, like you know something relating to my specialty, which is video editing. Like there are video editing positions at Amazon, yet I was never able to really get them, despite having to be with this company for a good while. Um, I guess what was nice was that because I worked there for 5 years, I got a bonus check of sorts. You can look it up, and you know how much they give out, which is like over $1,000 or something like that. Usually, what they do was offer you stock for Amazon. That would have been nice, but um, which is something I have gotten myself into a little bit during, was it 2021 or two? Whenever the GameStop shit happened, that's when I got into it. Like so many people for a little bit. But yeah, that was pretty wild. But anyway, back onto here. I digress. Point being, I thought my time there meant something, but in the end, it really didn't. For them anyway. I mean, there are takeaways from it. I learned stuff. They were great people to talk to. I met this guy who loves Godzilla and like monster movies and all that stuff, right? And that's like super up my alley. So, he even mentioned, Ray Harryhausen, which is, the guy who did all the stop motion stuff from a long time ago. A legend within the movie making industry, especially movie magic side of things. Very, very cool guy, you know. Stuff like that I do like to cherish or keep, you know what I mean? Like, if there is something to take away from, it was the people, right? Very cool people. Managers have come and went, unfortunately, because things happen, right? They get transferred, or they want to move or something, which is fine. No shame on them. But a lot of them got transferred, so it's like, you know, hate to see it, but It happens. And one of the higher managers, unfortunately, kind of disappeared on a rather sour note. Um, what boiled down to was that person was doing something they weren't supposed to, so they got either let go or whatever fired, or they were put somewhere else. So that was the end of the story for that manager. I believe he was the regional or like the manager for the entire warehouse or whatever facility, or not that not necessarily regional, but like I think it was like area manager or something like that. I forget the official title for it. Either way, he was gone on a rather very uh, prominently sour note. Um, I mean, luckily nothing happened with me anyway between myself and that manager or anything like that. No, like other instances either. Like no, like weird drama or anything like that. So I am definitely grateful for that or thankful. But you know, it again, it boils down to just me. All that after all that time, I later see ya, sayonara. They didn't even like tell me on the actual official day. I had to go out my way to know what my status was. And after having to talk to the representative, my takeaway from that was that yeah, they knew that they didn't have enough shifts. They knew what was happening, what was going on, and they even said, granted, we didn't have many shifts for everyone, but but we had shifts at midnight and stuff like that. It's like, no, no. You know, if you know about that stuff, you know that no one's gonna take that shit. You know, um, if it works for that person, it works, but it doesn't work for everyone. That's the thing, and if that's the only thing available, no one is gonna take that, and even if so, not everyone's gonna able to get it, right? So it's just like that's a whole lot of nothing. It just tells you that they know, right? They are aware, but yet it's happened. You know what I mean? Now, could I have stayed with Amazon longer? Sure, uh, but I think something was telling me um, that this wasn't the right place. You know, as much as I would have loved to keep it longer, just to like provide some backbone to my income and stuff like that. But either way, that was gone. Unfortunately, it's like it's one of those things like something you're familiar with, just poof, vanish. It's kind of like in video games where, especially with fighting games, where you've played with this system, right? This game mechanic for so long, and then all of a sudden, drastic change in this sequel or title or whatever, and you're just like, what the fuck? This is like not the game anymore that I love, right? That happens. Stuff like that happens. That's kind of how I sort of felt like with this. It's just gone. Like what I'm so familiar with was gone. So I was definitely unemployed, pretty much for the most part. The moment they started to not have enough shifts for everyone, right? After for so long, having a available amount of shifts, and then it's crazy because I was working through the pandemic, and like we were considered like an important. We were important and vital to the pandemic because of the online service, right? You know, Um, I lived through that shit, you know. Um, and yet here we are. Um, so that was very just sour, I guess you could say, at the end of the day when I just started to accept it, because after all that talk on the through the emails, you know, I tried my best to like get back into it, but they just said sorry, you know, no can do. So yeah, so again, I was unemployed, but only for one day, funny enough, because along the way, I was applying for jobs. My mom was helping me with all the other stuff too, like suggestions and all that stuff. And uh, FedEx was one of them. And lo and behold, the day after I was pretty much let go, um, I was responded by FedEx, one of the FedEx facilities, and I met up with the one of the managers, the operations manager, and the rest was history. So that was just like, huh, right? I was kind of preparing myself to be unemployed, officially unemployed, for like weeks on weeks, you know. But I got lucky, definitely, and before I knew it, I was back on my feet. Now, granted, this is a part time job, so all that free time I've had between working at Amazon and stuff like that, definitely went away. Um, because this was a flexible job, right previously, you know, with Amazon, I definitely had more time, if you've noticed, with streaming, content creation, and stuff like that. Um, I just, you know, had time in the world and such like that, with my freelance stuff, you know. And that's another thing too. But this doesn't contribute to this part of the conversation. So, um, but anyway, uh, actually, when did was that 2022? Anyway, let's not worry about that right now. Um, while I go grab my iPad. So yes, I got a new job, and essentially, I now have somewhat of a similar, very I'll say loosely similar job to what I did previously. So I worked in a warehouse, and guess what? I work in a warehouse. So and that's where it kind of ends. There are some similarities too, with the scanning and stuff like that. I use a, you know, a touchscreen device to scan stuff, you know. Um, from time to time, I use a dedicated scanner and stuff like that to do my job. Um, but it the point though was that it was just like really funny of how fast I was able to get a new job. And now I because this is a part-time job, you know, I can make consistent money, and you know, that was nice. It was a very definitely something to get used to again, because I have been doing a flex scheduled job for like 5 years, right? So imagine, right, of how I was feeling going back into a part time scheduling. So yeah, um, that this job itself does have its stories, so I don't want to get into it too much. But overall, it's been, a different experience. I've met some cool people. Met this guy that like had a lot of common things with what I like, and one thing I can tell you was that he was getting himself, I think, back into One Piece, if not getting into One Piece. And of course, that being my most favorite manga slash anime series of all time, even up to this point. And that of itself has been eating good, right? Like the franchise has been eating very good. But let's not get into that now. Met this guy, talked to him about One Piece like every single day until unfortunately life happened and he had to get a different job. You know, um, so already I was like experiencing that kind of stuff. So it's like, ah, man, it sucks, but it happens, right? That's life. Um, Picked up some training along the way with other things, and um, things are kind of evolving, I would definitely say. Um, and I can definitely feel that my schedule could get rocked, but we'll see. But at least I'm still able to do my freelance stuff for right now, but we'll see. Hopefully, it won't be too crazy at the new place, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah. Um, what else? So overall, I do like the place. It's not too bad. Um, Friendly people, right? Managers are very cool. I've had like food catering and stuff like that, like tacos and all that stuff. Pretty good. Um, yeah, yeah, but interesting people too. A lot of interesting people. Just something different for sure. Um, Funny, uh, while working at Amazon, I met somebody who worked at UPS and also FedEx and stuff like that. And, it's kind of like this weird back and forth, right? Um, you know, life is full of funny stuff. So, um, yeah. So, in this year, I got a new job. So, I will be sticking with that for a while, and we'll see how that goes. We'll see where life takes us and all that. Anyway, so let's go away from that. The next thing I wanted to bring up was another thing from me, and this is more like trivial stuff, I guess, but this definitely has something to do with my hobbies and interests, and that is me getting myself back into car detailing. So some of you may know, especially if you've known this channel for a very long time, um, I like cars very much. At least back in the day. There was a point where I stopped paying attention for a while, and then when um, I had to give up the Lexus because the Lexus's transmission died, or pretty much was dying, rather. Basically, there was a period there were instances where my car just stopped. It just stops. It like shuts down, at lower speeds. It only happens in a parking lot, so lower speeds. But once I get up to speed, that never happens. So it never like shut off on me on the freeway. Luckily, oh man, imagine, right? Imagine. But luckily, this only happened in a parking lot. It happened twice at that time, and I was just like, ugh. But anyway, so once I got a new car, which was the Corolla, um, I was keeping it clean for about a year, at least I tried to anyway, and I started to use this bottle of the ceramic spray coating from Turtle Wax. That was the only thing I had to really like be my detailing thing, you know, besides soap and all that stuff, right? But then I believe this is like a blur to me, but I believe because stuff happens so fast sometimes I just don't keep up to like remember them really in the full detail. But um, I was looking up some comparison videos, you know, kind of just to see what was like good, possibly better, and all that stuff. I slowly started to pick up stuff here and there, like, oh, I have this like liquid wax with what is it, the graphene flex wax thing. Oh no, graphene like liquid wax. It comes in a black bottle and it's the hybrid solutions series for those who care about that stuff. Also from Turtle Wax, if I haven't said already. And that one I had for a while. Never used it yet at this up to this point. Um, but it the spray coating videos, like the comparison anyway, pretty much took me into the rabbit hole of car detailing, and that pretty much was the catalyst for me to just go crazy of buying and replacing a lot of my old stuff. Because there was so much that like I've missed out on when it comes to car cleaning and car washing. Like stuff is just like advanced over time. I really never thought that it would have update like that. But you know, technology as technology advances, chemistry does too. Of course, I should have known that, but you know, I always caught up on other stuff. Anywho, so yeah, it was so like, wow, I did not think that there was so much like cool stuff in car detailing that I just started crazy. I think that one of the very first things I bought was a gallon of the ONR or Optimum No Rinse, which basically is a rinseless wash solution that allows you to pretty much like skip out on the hose and clean your car very easily and fast, very efficiently too. And that was kind of like the one of the snowballs that eventually became a big one, right? Downhill. I also was just like buying so much stuff left and right. Every paycheck, I started to just like really update my kit. And it's gotten crazy to the point where I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna get myself a pressure washer." But here we are. I got myself a pressure washer. I'll put some B-roll up in here. I actually tried to like make a YouTube short, but it was like it didn't look good, so I might as well use it here because you can like see like the hose like in the way. I'm like struggling with the hose because this is my first time like using it, so I haven't like built my routines yet. So yeah, and because I have a pressure washer, I now have experienced the foaming sort of phenomenon, and that was pretty fun. It is pretty fun to do visually and just like the feel of it, right? You know, the satisfaction and such like that. Um, I even got myself an all-purpose cleaner with Kokemi or Kokemi Green Star. Good stuff. And um, when it comes to the rinseless, back on the rinseless wash, I got myself some pump sprayers, you know, and I just use that to spray the car with it, like instead of using a hose now. Stuff is just so much easier, and that's what really inspired me to like get back into it. And also, I guess you could say one of the reasons why I stopped washing my cars because I was really into it when I had the Silica, but I kind of lost it during my ownership of the Lexus IS 250. It was just hard. It was just messy. It took a lot of time, and I'd rather spend my time with like you know hanging out with friends and this and that, video games, whatever, right? So you know, kind of tells you, right? Makes sense as to why that didn't happen in between. In all those times, right? I missed out on the beginning of rinseless, the beginning of the end of the two bucket method, all that stuff. Or rather, the birth of the two bucket method. I was kind of there, quote unquote. But the decline and eventual death, quote unquote, of the two rinse bucket wash thing, it's still, I mean, people still do it. It's not like you can't do it or anything, but it's inefficient at this point, especially with what you have in your arsenal, especially with the grit guard, rinseless, all that stuff. Anyway, I've picked up a lot of shit, and over the months, I've spent tons of money at this point to really get into it, but the results show. It's so much easier, and I really had some popping results. Especially once I bought this towel that decontaminates the surface. Right, I like to call it a decon towel because it's not really clay, but people like to say clay for the sake of it because you're claying the car. That's like the classic thing to say. You clay your car to make it glass smooth, almost. These new decon materials pretty much almost do an amazing job, like 100% job of just removing all these like hard particles that make your car feel like sand eventually, and just take it away. Almost, I would say 90, at least 90%. If you really want a complete just overhaul of your surface, yeah, you have to use the old clay bar because it's very aggressive and it just mars up your paint. It just, you make sacrifices, right? But with the decon towel, you can just that's like a go-to, right? And then you bring out the big guns eventually, right? At some point, but um, it gets most of the stuff off. It helps waxes and sealants and coatings bond better, along with polishing and compounding and stuff like that. Um, yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell already. I'm like talking about car wash again, as I did with my other video. I made a video just showing off all the stuff I've gotten over time, and even to the point where um, I even bought myself a cart. I'll put up a video about it if I haven't already, but I will eventually. And man, that cart is something. I believe I have a short for it already. I think on the YouTube channel, if not my TikTok. But anyways, yeah, I have a TikTok, so I'll leave the link in the description. But anyway, I have a detailing cart. It's gone that far, and it does make things a lot easier to like push out all the stuff I need. I have to go back to the garage, back and forth. Um, yeah, and now it's not just a pressure washer, right? I thought that was it, but it's still going, guys, and I'm now in the process of getting myself the parts for making myself a water deionizer system, or water DI. A water DI system basically softens up your water. That's what causes the water spots, which basically is once water dries up, it leaves behind the minerals, and those minerals heat up in the sun. And what happens with heat? A hot thing on a plastic resin surface, which is your clear coat. What happens to hot things in plastic? It melts, so it embeds itself to the clear coat, and you have a spot now. What you could do is use a dedicated cleaner for it, which is a water spot remover, which only removes the minerals off. But what you're left with is the etching or marking of that spot. And then after that, you can fix that up with compounding and polishing, which can be done in one step, which is, amazing, right? Again, amazing advancements. It's crazy of how much I missed out, but now I'm catching up to it. Yeah, so it's gone that far where I am in the process of getting myself that system, and wait until you see it, guys. It's gonna be funny and crazy and hopefully awesome all at the same time. But that's life. It's all about experimenting, what works, and all that stuff. And to really like tie in that the car detailing craze is now I've also in the process of getting myself a leaf blower. um, well, I guess you could say another one because I did myself a $40 leaf blower, which I discovered that that wasn't good enough because you have to also take into the count of CFM, which is uh, basically the rate of how much wind is actually being pushed from your blower. The one I bought is only 180 CFM, which is nearly not enough, even for a waxed, coated, or sealed surface. Because all it does is just kind of push around water a little bit, and then because it's not enough air, it's not pushing it, but because you're blowing it at such a high speed, it evaporates. So you're just kind of helping the water to evaporate faster, which is not exactly what you want. You want to just push it off, not make it disappear faster, which could be fine if you have treated water, but not everyone has that. Not everyone has luxurious spot-free water. It's, you know, water from the garden hose, so it's gonna have some hardness to it. It's gonna have minerals in it, and yeah, that's going to be rough. So I am in the process of getting the actually the Ego 530, and that's going to be hopefully be good because not only it's more powerful, but it's also cordless. It uses batteries, so that's going to be fun. Never thought I would get so many tools to just car wash, um, to do car washing. So now I can say I have a pressure washer. Now I can say I have a leaf blower, right? I have all these like power tools coming in, It's crazy. Yeah, yeah. It's just so funny of where I've gone with that. Man, I can't wait to tell my friend that used to be so much into car detailing as well. I'm sure he's not because he's taking care of his newborn son, which, yes, by the way, his son was born this year, I believe. So, um, another one in the books, right, for us, but within the circle. Yeah, you see him around on the channel from time to time. He's another good friend of mine, and he's farther up north now. But yeah, he has a son with his wife and all that stuff, and yeah, life is definitely moving forward for him too. Here I am, meanwhile, just getting all this stuff for car washing, and it's great. Like it feels great to do it, man. Like I love the results. I like the process. I don't mind it. There are some annoyances, sure, um, like the hoses and stuff like that, but that's you know that becomes an afterthought once you really get the process down. I'm like taking notes. Actually, taking a video of yourself actually really helps with like what you should do and not do. I should probably do a video just to record myself doing a random car wash and just like commentate through what I should do and not do for myself and let you guys learn it on the process, right? Maybe that should be a an idea someday. But um, anyways, the point being here is that yeah, I've gotten back into car detailing, and now, in fact, I'm deeper into the rabbit hole than I ever was. I felt like I barely scratched the surface. You know. Um, I try to do everything though on the Lexus, right? Compounding, polishing, waxing, and just I was too young to like really be have the patience to sit down and really learn. But now that I'm older, right, I have like the dedication, the motivation to just learn these things, and now I can understand like so much more, right? It's almost like being in your 20s because you feel so like on top of the world. It's like I don't, meh, I can do whatever I want, that kind of thing. It should be fine. But there is a process. There is the way to do it, right? And yeah, I've made so many mistakes with that car, and so I will try to be very careful, very delicate with the Corolla. You know, I want to take that thing as far as I go, and that includes the paint job, the cleanliness of it, if you will. Who knows how long I'll keep up with that, but we'll see. But for right now, I'm kind of having fun with it. You know, of course, buying stuff for yourself is a part of the thing too. Shopaholics, right? I'm sure you know how that feels. And that definitely is um, something. That's kind of how it goes. Um, it's baffling of how much I got myself into. In fact, let me tell you one more little thing, right? Of how far, you know, it's gone to the point where I even have behind the camera here, I have a big screen, which is connected to my Mac. And before I was planning to make this video, I had a car detailing video in the background. Them talking about like, oh, can you mix your chemicals and stuff like that and all that stuff. You know. And speaking of which, man, car detailing. That's where I learned my dilution ratios, how to dilute my solutions and stuff. In the past, when people are mixing their alcoholic drinks, right? They always talk about like, oh, 1 part this, 2 parts that, 3 parts this, that. I'm like, what are you talking about? But funny enough, with car washing, now I know what the fuck they're talking about. It's so funny, right? That's what it took for me to understand that stuff. So that's just kind of like how my mind works at times. um, so yeah, car detailing. As much as I would love to talk about more of that stuff, I'll try to like wrap it up here. Um, but I got a lot of stuff, yo. I got a lot of stuff to the point where I wanted to test it out, and I tested out on my sister's car. And man, I wish I did it during the summer because it sucks too because this is all happening during winter, and winter is like the worst time to wash your car in a way because the sun goes down real fast. You can't even record your stuff because it gets dark real fast. It sucks, man. I really wanted to show off that stuff, like my first times and everything, but by the time it's summer, it won't be my first time anymore, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is, but anyways, back to here. I was working on my sister's car, and my sister, is like any other ordinary person when it comes to car care, which is none. It was really dirty. It had like bird poo and um, dirt grime, film, road film, and everything. You name it. Dirty tires and wheels, all that stuff. It was dirty. So that was actually a really good opportunity for me to try out my pressure washer, push out my little cute little detail car for the very first time. Man, like if any detailer saw that, it'd be like, "Oh, that's cute. Look at that old toy. Look at this guy with his first little detail car. That's so cute." Now, to be fair, it is pretty tiny, but it does fit a lot of stuff. It helps. It's like the little engine that could. Um, and because it's so tiny, the wheels are small. It's hard to like push over stuff, so I have to drag it out. You can't push it. You can't push it. Um, in some parts of the driveway and garage. Anyway, um, so yes, my sister's car was really dirty. So got to try out the pressure washer, um, my soaps, the rinseless well, in combination of my phone shampoo stuff. Because I always use the rinseless on my car, right? But using it on my sister's car or anyone else's car for the very first time, for sure. And the process was great. I mean, um, you foam your car, you let it dwell, do its work. Um, oh yeah, that was also my first time using an all-purpose cleaner. The Green Star, I threw that some of it in the foaming solution. Foam cannon, right? A lot of first times. Foam cannon, pressure washer, decon towel, um, uh, and the first time I actually opened the bottle of Turtle Wax Graphene Flex Wax. Well, I opened the nozzle, I sprayed that son of a bitch, waxed it, deconned it before that, of course. It was smooth to the touch after I was done. I even dressed up my sister's tires and everything. Um, oh yeah, I even got myself the pumping foam sprayer from Marilex. That one's kind of a headache to use, unfortunately, because it's been sputtering. I'm not sure if it's broken or like something's going on with it. I'm not sure what's going on. But anyway, hopefully it's just the volume issue where when you have a certain amount of water left, it sputters, which means I just have to keep it full, which that of itself sucks, but we'll see. Anyways, a lot of first times, and it all went well. Um, the car is almost smooth as glass. It's very soft, right? Like you feel with the back of your hand. Oh man, it feels so good, especially the before and after. Oh my god, God, I wish I documented it somehow. But anyway, but what counted was that my sister was very happy. She was like, "Wow!" She was very amazed of how clean it was. She was so um, happy, so amazed by it. And that's the stuff I live for. You do something and you get the results, and it's that satisfaction that I crave for. You know what I mean? The same thing happens with video editing. I mean, um, I've had my clients tell me like, "This is amazing. This is great," and such. And that is such a great feeling. That's the stuff, again, I live for. You do work, your results are clear, and the people that count tell you this is it, right? And in this case, it's car washing, right? Like, it's something I can do. Again, tire dress and everything. That, like, the cherry on top, the tire dressing. Um, my only thing to take away from when it comes to critiquing it is that I should have worked on the tires a little more because I felt like I could have made it more black or something like that. And I think it's because um, I didn't clean it enough, maybe. I am not sure. Or I should have used my dedicated wheel tire cleaner, brake buster, on those wheels and tires. But instead, I just let my APC foaming solution do the work, which did because it was turning brown as the browning was coming off. I was like, well, damn, stuff is happening, guys. But yeah, a lot of first times and then went well. So if there's a chance, I would like to practice my polishing skills, which is another thing. I bought myself. There's another thing. I bought myself a dual action polisher. My goodness. Again, another thing I've never thought I'd get myself, right? Get for myself. A lot of first times. Funny enough, I used it on my mom's car, and I'm still trying to get the feel of it, but we'll see. Um, I also kind of like detailed my mom's car, and she's just like, my mom was also having a very similar reaction, like, "Wow, this is so smooth." It's like, dang, wow, you know. And it's all thanks to like how easy it is nowadays. You don't got to deal with the annoyances of the clay. You don't got to deal with how hard it is to wax. It's all about sprays, man. Just like that. They have spray on rinse off sealants for crying out loud. The Geon wet coat, quick beads. I want to get that. I want to get that stuff someday. But um even the graphene flex wax from Turtle Wax, you can also do it the spray on rinse off thing as a means to maintaining the wax or whatever, the spray on coating. Man, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Um, let's see how long that lasts, right? My sister's car. So yeah. Uh, we'll see how often she keeps it clean, but I will be not surprised if she doesn't. So it would mean though I can flex my car washing muscles, but we'll see. Because I of course prefer to work on my car, you know. But yeah. Um, so yeah, I've been keeping my car clean for the most part, and then just spending more time in the garage. Funny enough, I just been getting more stuff. So yeah. Anyways, sorry if I spend a lot of time on the car washing aspect, but I can't help it. Here's the thing about my other interests. I've been having a hard time keeping up with gaming, unfortunately. Um, there's a lot of reasons, you know, work, how tired I am when I come home, but also like there's some of the games are just kind of hard to like keep up with, or just like hard to motivate myself to play. And unfortunately, Final Fantasy 16 was one of them. I already made a video about it. I'm not gonna go into it here, but I was disappointed with how 16 was. I'll try to eventually finish it, but it kind of shows, you know. My top 10 games of the 2023 will be very different, I'll tell you that much. Tears of the Kingdom, I've been really trying to get back into it, but I just haven't had the time for it. Um, instead I tried to make this video, but um, other times just been hard. It's just been too tired, or I just wind up doing something else. So, um, pretty difficult, but I think next year will be different. Hopefully, I'm like trying to like refine my focus on that part, especially when now that by the time I'm done with like all my car washing research, quote unquote, or buying and stuff like that, the shopping spree, quote unquote, it's been going on for months. So you can imagine how much money I've been spending on car washing. Um, yeah, man. Um, Hopefully, like my car washing stuff kind of goes down to a mild like hobby, and then going back into gaming. But I don't know, man. It's just like the results from car washing is just so satisfying, you know. So that's I've been. It's so weird because I've been craving to car wash, but I do it bi-weekly because that's like kind of optimal, right? You don't want to use too much chemicals that fast, because yeah, that guess what? Money. Yeah, there are lessons learned. Um, there are some chemicals that I bought too much of, and there are some others I haven't bought enough of. So I will definitely take it easy on the carpet cleaning stuff, and I will definitely go in on like all-purpose cleaner. I should have put that money into all-purpose cleaner more. But hey, it is what it is, and now we know. And now I know which foaming soap to buy or car shampoo. You know, uh, yeah. But anyways, gaming has been kind of mild in comparison to the last couple of years. I do still play games. It's just that when it comes to like the big AAA titles, I have just not been able to finish them. I have been so horrible at finishing games. Um, it's just like I don't know. It's just been hard to keep up with this, and especially with June, like June, May. There was Tears of the Kingdom, Final Fantasy 16, and Street Fighter 6. My God, man, so many good games came out this year. You know, and more stuff is coming, man. It's gonna be hard for me. It's gonna be tough. So I think all like I also have this guilt feeling of like not streaming and stuff like that. But there's just times where I just want to just play games, stay offline, you know. But I feel guilty doing it. So that's why it's like, well, if I'm gonna game, I should stream it, right? Content, right? All that stuff. But I think I need to learn to just say fuck it, play games for the sake of for yourself, not for what you're doing is like a wild goose chase, right? You know, it's hard to get a following on streaming. Um, and even if I do stream, it's not going to be that long because by the time I come home late from work or I just come home tired, um, and by the time I have the weekend, it's like I'm already doing my podcast stuff. I'm washing my car, other times. So I think coming up for this year, I think I'm gonna like pull back on the streaming and just say fuck it. I'm not, at the end of the day, I'm more of a content creator on the YouTube channel than I am a streamer on Twitch or whatever. So yeah, I think I'm gonna just try to have that mindset for next year more than I did this year. I did my best, but it's a struggle, and a lot of the times of this year I felt bad for it because like I'm not using my time to try to get a following, but getting a following nowadays is just hard on streaming. It's tough on YouTube as well, you know. With streaming, content creating, this channel hasn't really gone up in subscribers, which I'm fine with, but it is an observation to make nonetheless. Because, you know, I was never going to like make this like a full-time job or anything like that. I have my part-time job, right? You know, for consistent income. Now, would have things been different if this was getting a lot more subscribers and money coming in? Of course, of course. You know, that is a dream, but it's that also is a wild goose chase. So, a lot of rethinking. I really wanted to go do drawing. I barely drew some art. So that's another thing too. That's why. So yeah, I think a lot of the activities I want to do, it's being held back by the fact that, oh, I need to make content out of it. Oh, I need to make streaming out of this kind of thing. It's that content creator's guilt thing, if that makes sense. It's such a weird feeling, but it happens nowadays because you want to be popular, you want to make something out of it, but it just winds up destroying your interests in a way, possibly. It becomes a detriment more than anything. So I would say, I mean, right, if anyone else is struggling with this, you have to learn to let that go. Not everything needs to be recorded or streamed, and just say fuck it. Do it for the sake of yourself. And then if you have the extra time, okay, why not stream it? Yeah. But if you're wind up not doing it at all, like me, like not drawing or whatever, or playing video games as a pastime, there are just times where I do nothing but watch videos or just sit there, be tired or fall asleep on my chair, take a nap, and then I gotta work on projects and stuff like that. By that time, right? Like my time passes. It's like, ah, shit, more work, you know. But a lot of learning, a lot of things I'm learning from myself still, right? You think you know yourself, but each year you learn more about yourself. And that's what's happening nowadays with me, I feel. And of course, next year there's going to be more stuff about me, right? That I have to learn to refine or make some changes to. I mean, who knows where I'll wind up, whether it happens next year or 5 years later. Fuck it, right? Another 5 years. Am I gonna be still with FedEx? I don't know. That's the point of life, I guess, right? So yeah, I think that's about it for me. I mean, I could ramble on about some worldly stuff. I mean, fucked up shit's been happening around the world, especially with what's going on with the whole like Hamas stuff, Palestine and Israel stuff. Man, um, and man, let me tell you, man, like Joe Biden is just not looking good right now, man. Like, um, it's just a different flavor of bad. Like, people talk bad about Trump, but damn, Joe, Joe, man, not looking good, Mr. President. I think he's not gonna get a second term, but that's all the political stuff I'll ever throw in. Anyway, that's that. Right. Let's talk about me again. Um, actually, because I forgot to throw this in. Why not? So, as I mentioned in my last movie review video featuring Godzilla minus one, yeah, that was my first time ever going back to the theater. Um, Twice, in fact, because I love minus one so much that I wanted to see it again to see anything I missed, right? And I actually was able to catch a couple more things in my second watching, but it definitely makes me appreciate the sound experience, right, of the theater, especially if you watch it in Dolby Cinema. Oh my goodness, I wish I got that ticket for one last time, but I opted out for a different thing just because there were less people over there. But I should just say fuck it and went for it. But my first time was great. I love my first time watching minus one. I watched it with Dolby Cinema. It was great. The sounds was so much better. The theater experience was so much welcoming. It's like it feels good to be back, right? And yeah, I think going forward, I will definitely try to um, watch some movies and do more movie reviews. That's definitely doable. That's a noticeable thing, right? By the end of the year, there were more streaming reviews or streaming series reviews than with like game reviews and stuff like that. So that is the thing, right? Um, I will have to likely catch them on the very last showtime, but that also means if I go on a Tuesday night or Wednesday night or whatever, those weekend nights, there'll be less people. There's like barely anyone. My first time with Godzilla, barely any people. Barely any people, man. It was great. It was great. I have not gone to the theater since the pandemic. I was like very paranoid for a long time with the whole with the coronavirus and everything. Um, you know, it it makes a lot of sense if you know what happened to my dad. Um, you definitely understand. Like ever since then, man, I was I my germophobia just shot up. Like, uh, man, I was so paranoid. You know, I just did not want to. I just did not want to like you know do stuff. I was so afraid and like just scared to go out, you know. Um, yeah, man. Ever since that pandemic like did a number on me for sure. But now I'm trying to like slowly get back into things. I visited my friend to go watch the very last episode of Attack on Titan, as I mentioned in my review. Um, Great experience, right? And great to see my friend again. I, you know, visited my cousins once again. Great experience. And now I went. A few weeks before that, uh went to go see Godzilla. Man, it's oh man, I just had to go see it, man. And something for Godzilla minus one was like calling me. It's like Sean, you gotta see this, man. You gotta see this. You know. And I'm so glad I did. Like that's the one movie I've seen for this year, and I think I would have given that the movie of the year, especially with all the other fucking garbage that's been putting out in comparison to like before, like especially with Marvel, Disney, that type of stuff. Um, I am curious about Oppenheimer, but man, there's so much garbage throughout the years. Um, that also is another reason, right? It's like they're not worth watching. I'd rather just watch it through Disney Plus or something. So yeah, streaming was like my means of seeing stuff, you know. That thanks to that, I've picked up The Boys, Invincible, you know. Love it. I love it so much throughout the years. But yeah, point being, yeah, it's good to be back in the theater. And now I kind of like have also another thing to do um, if I feel it, man. But movie tickets, goddamn, man, shit. They're like $20 a pop, especially for the Dolby Cinema stuff. They're like it's like even the regular movie theater experience is like not that much cheaper than the Dolby Cinema stuff. It's like what the fuck, man? What the hell? Even watching it on a Tuesday is like fuck. $20? God damn, man. Shit. But still, I'm glad I get put that money into Godzilla. It deserves it so much. -1 is so great, and hope to see more of it. I think Sonic will definitely be that next movie where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it in theaters late at night with hopefully no people around, and yeah, you know, or very little people around. Yeah, man, I'm just like kind of reminiscing on all that stuff I've just been putting off of, putting off, and then now I'm like getting back into it. You know, I used to go to the theater a lot before the pandemic with my friend Danny. We did movie reviews like out the ass, thanks to the oh, what was it called? Um, it's basically like the subscription plan, right? Was it Stubs? No, I think it was like something else. Anyway, the movie pass, I think it was AMC Pass or whatever you call it. Oh man, that was like MVP, man. We were able to see so many movies. I was so glad I was able to see Godzilla King of the Monsters and like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, man, um, I don't think there were movies where I felt like I missed out, right, over the years. Like, yeah, especially with the Marvel stuff. That looks like garbage, man. From when the people that have been telling me all this stuff, it sounds like garbage in comparison to before. Jesus Christ. Hopefully by phase, was it 5, 6, whatever it is, it'll get better. Um, yeah, Kang the Conqueror is essentially gone because of what's been happening or what happened recently with Jonathan Majors, unfortunately. But yeah, it's going to be pretty rough on that side of things. But hopefully they get back on their feet and you know, we'll see what we'll see from there. Uh yeah, and same with Disney and themselves. I hope they pick things back up. But yeah, um, I think the one movie I'm definitely looking forward to though is Sonic 3. I am definitely making my way to the theater for that one, but at night because you know I got work. I'm not gonna just spend my weekend on it. You know, I'd rather just go watch it on a work night because that's when you know less people are there. So yeah. But again, I was so glad for Godzilla -1. I loved it in the theater. It was so good. It was so good. It's good to be back as a Godzilla fan, that's for sure. And yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Same with One Piece. Good stuff. Good stuff. Manga right now, oh, it's so sad. Oh, my heart. It is heart wrenching. Ugh. And then the anime though, Very, very good. Very good. I still have to catch up on some episodes because the Wano arc just ended. I mean, I'm gonna watch those, and yeah, we can definitely move forward from there. I'm trying to really think of anything else that has happened over the course of this year. Mm, not so much, I don't think. I'm like looking around to see, right? I mean, um, yeah, funny. Some things has changed over here. But that'll be for another video. My amiibo stuff. I think that's the thing. Next thing I'll focus on once all my other car wash stuff comes in. Um, there is still a couple of things I want to buy, which is like some changing my pressure washer gun and then some nozzles and yeah, that's about it. I think it's almost done. Definitely almost done. We're almost there. And then from there on, it's just maintenance, right? Restocking and stuff, that kind of stuff. But man, what a year! What a year that this was. Um, there is quite a bit to take away from, and overall, I really can't complain. I think we will definitely be able to end it on a pretty good note. It is the last. Tomorrow is the last work day of this year, and I believe I am off for New Year, so we'll be back after that, and we'll be marching forward for 2024. So we'll see. We'll see about that. There is already stuff to look forward to, which is the video games, right? Tekken 8 is coming out. I am excited for that one. Definitely cannot wait to get back into that game and play Jack and Dragonov and try out new characters and such like that. The heat system looks really fun. The story looks ridiculous and has me curious. So I definitely love to see what it has to offer. Unfortunately, I did not spend too much time with Street Fighter 6. I would like to once, if they ever put Alex in there. I think that'll be the time for me to like really get back into it, and play Alex. Really learn the drive system, um, and maybe work on more World Tour. We'll see. But right now, I Street Fighter 6 is like it's kind of there for me, right? Like I don't feel bad for like putting off that game. It's just one of those things like it's fine, you know what it is. My satisfaction is well met. Same with Advance Wars reboot. It's nice, but the execution could have been better. Somewhat of a disappointment, but not as much as like Final Fantasy 16 for sure. I don't know, something about it, man. Something about it. Well, I already said it, but it's in that video. Anyways, that's really all the major stuff that has happened. Um, just a lot of like half of it was just like stagnant because Amazon stuff, right? And then once July came in, right, it was all FedEx and then the rest of it was car washing. um, yeah, I will miss out on some things like the Game Awards, but whatever, man. That's spilled milk at this point. That stuff with the Game Awards, man. That's so uncool. With like the game developers getting like so less time to talk about, like their thank yous and stuff like that, their gratitude and stuff like that, having their time on the screen. Dude, fuck that, dude. That whole situation sucks. Keely, you gotta do better, man. If you don't, fuck off. Please fuck right off, because those people definitely deserve all the time on screen to be honored and stuff like that. Now, I am aware that you are trying to work on that, but we'll see. We'll see what the results are for next year. You know, I understand the money givers have to be pleased, but you still have gotta got to give the time for, guess what, the awards, right? It just doesn't feel like an award show. It just tries to be like E3, and it can get annoying. um Funny enough, but anyways, let's not end it on that note. Let's hope for 2024 to be great. I hope your guys' year of 2023 was good. What was your takeaways from it? Did you achieve anything this year? Um, I've learned a lot for myself for this year, and hopefully I can apply that for next year. Um, I can wash cars again. you know, I love washing cars again, and I'm back in the theater, right? Now I can just like go go watch movies at night, right? Whenever I feel like. You know what? Maybe I will get that movie pass from AMC again, just to like, you know what I mean? We'll see once yeah next year rolls around. But yeah, but I don't really think I have to, since I don't think there's like a multitude of movies I want to watch. So yeah. Um, I mean, I guess I could have gone some value of going to watch Godzilla with Movie Pass, but I don't know, man. I don't feel bad at all for giving $40 for Godzilla. That's all I'm gonna say, man. Anyways, if anyone has any comments for 2023, leave down below. Any comments for what are your plans for 2024? Maybe if you want to share those, I am more than happy to check those out, because I'm all for it, man. I'm all for people like improving for themselves, setting goals, achieving goals, being happy. That's what it's all about. Be happy for yourself, not just for others. Be happy for you, right? That's what it's all about, man. That's what life needs to be. There's so many people that just cope and just do weird stuff for others, right? To defend others in the most wrong way possible. But they don't take the time for themselves to, well, preserve their self-image first off, but um, have some self-respect. Have some time for yourself. Be happy for yourself. Don't put so much time into other things. Put time to make yourself happy. And I'm sure putting comments about like, oh, this game is getting all this free stuff and updates because this game is struggling. No, that's not the reason. You're just saying that because the other game you're playing is just neglecting on those things. So, you know, but you don't want to say it for whatever reason. You gotta see it for what it is, man. And that'll be helpful to, you know, improve yourself, self improvement. Um, you gotta just focus on what you're good at. Don't focus on um like putting your eggs or putting all your time into like blindly defending this thing kind of thing, so on and so forth, all that in between. It's hard to explain, but hopefully you guys understand where I'm coming from. Just like, I don't know, do the things you like. Go game. Go fucking um rediscover your hobbies and interests like I did, right? With car washing. It's a good feeling at the end, especially if you do it right. But it's all about learning, man. And then if you take the time to learn, you'll do it right, and you'll be really really happy. That's what's important. All right, I pro. This is a long ass video. I know it's been that long, but I had to get it off my chest. So, any comments of 2023? Any comments of 2024? Again, leave it down below. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe. Really helps us out, guys. Really appreciate it. Thumbs up, whatever, right? I noticed that when you say thumbs up or like, it like lights up, right? It's actually kind of weird on YouTube. And when you also say subscribe, I think it also lights up too. I've seen it happen. It's really, really weird, but maybe it works for the big top content creators. So I'm not sure if it'll work for me. But anyways, thank you very much. And this has been, I guess, a long ass episode of Hawke Talks for 2023. I'm sure there's like more to talk about, but it's just too long. I just want to talk about what happened to me, and I think that's pretty much it. Makes sense. All right. Thank you very much. It's been a good year, I think, for me. Hopefully, it's a good year for you. And all I can say at this point is I hope for everyone, Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Hope to see you all in the next year. Sean out.